What is up, everybody? It's me, Dead Center, coming to you again with another how-to video. Today we are going over the Lich King himself, Arthas. This is one of my personal favorite heroes to play. He's one of the few that I actually have over level 15, the new master now. I absolutely just love his kit. For those of you who don't know, he's a melee warrior. He is kind of halfway in between a tank and a bruiser. He's a little more damage than something like a Muradin, but way more survivable than something like Sonya or something along those lines, or even Artanis. He's got loads of CC on his kit, and that's where we'll go next. So his Q, Death Coil, it either deals 164 damage to a target enemy, or it can be self-cast to heal him for 262 damage. I almost exclusively use it as a self-heal. Very, very rarely do I ever use it to actually do damage to an enemy. The only time I'll do that is if they're running away with just that sliver of health, because it does have a pretty good range on it, and if I know I'm going to seal off that kill, I will use it, but 99% of the time I'm going to use it as a self-heal. Howling Blast. His W, it roots an enemy in the target area for 1.25 seconds, dealing minimal damage. But you do have to kind of lead with it. It does kind of take a while for it to pop up and root people. And I do go into some talents. One thing I like about my build that I do with him, it's not a focus build like the Li-Ming or the Valor that I've done in the past. It's kind of, you're kind of picking and choosing and bringing up different aspects of it. The main thing that I focus on is CC, right? Controlling your enemies and making him more survivable. So you'll see those as I go through his talent build. So the Howling Blast, again, rooting people. This allows you to chase up to them, stick them in one place. You can follow up to them. Frozen Tempest, this is an aura that you have to toggle on and toggle off. But once somebody's inside that aura, they constantly take damage. Their movement speed is reduced by 10% per second, stacking up to 40%. And then heroes hit also have their attack speed slowed by 10%, stacking up to 40%. So the idea, you hit them with that Howling Blast, that root, you catch up to them, and then you can just, if you can keep them in that Frozen Tempest, it constantly keeps them slowed, and their auto attacks are slowed. And then his trait, activatable trait, you activate to empower your next basic attack to restore mana on hit, and it does a little extra bonus damage. I really like it. He is sort of known as being an anti-auto attacker tank. He's still pretty good against spell power, not as good as in Nubarak. One thing about him is that, as you can see right on the bottom there, he has a flat 10 physical armor. So that means any auto attacks he takes has 10% of it reduced. So that's kind of nice. A lot of people forget about that. A Nubarak has 20 spell armor. It's something just to kind of keep a mind on, because it's unless you know to look for it in this screen, you don't see it. Into the talents at level 1, Frost Presence. This is a quest talent for that W, that Howling Blast. Once you root 5 heroes with the Howling Blast, you reduce its cooldown by 2 seconds. Once you hit 10, you increase the range by 30%. Just makes it this huge range where you can really catch someone to catch up to him. And then after hitting 20, makes it to where Howling Blast will root all enemies in its path. This is one thing. This is kind of like that level 4 on Vala, where you need to keep an eye on this and make sure you're adjusting your playstyle once you hit those quests. Just because if you're not using that extra 30% range, you're missing out on that benefit. And if you're not trying to root the farthest person you can and try and snag people on the path, again, you're not using this to the most optimal amount that you could. Level 4, I go Frozen Waste. This makes it to where so it's another quest talent. After damaging enemies with your your aura, for 150 times. The movement speed and attack speed slow by your aura lasts an extra 1.5 seconds. I believe that brings it to a total of 3 seconds. It just makes it to where you can almost body block running behind someone. It just really makes that slow just extremely punishing. Level 7, I go Icebound Fortitude. It's an activatable talent on your 1 key. It activates to give you 25 armor, and which reduces any damage you take by 25%, and reduces the duration of slows, stuns, or roots against Arthas by 75% for 3 seconds. So if you know you're about to take a bunch of damage, or you know you're going to get hit with some CC, you pop that, and it just reduces all of that. Just really makes him more tanky if you know when to use it and how to use it. Level 10, I almost exclusively go summon Sindragosa. Army of the Dead is very powerful. If you don't know, you summon a bunch of ghouls, and then you can sacrifice the ghouls, healing yourself up. I personally haven't ever played Arthas this way. I don't like the mentality that it brings along with it. It's you're relying on your heroic to kind of get you out of dodge, and it's one of those things where you have to start it pretty early on. If you wait till you're already at a quarter health, normally they can just burst you down the rest of the way. I just don't like the mindset that you need to use this. Summon Sindragosa is just so powerful, and on so many maps. So what it does is you summon the big skeletal dragon who blasts the ground with ice. It slows, it does damage, and then it slows enemies by 60% for 40 seconds. And then it also disables non-heroic enemies and structures for 20 seconds. 20 seconds. It's great to pair up with so many different objectives on maps. I'm thinking Dragonite, I'm thinking Infernal, the Infernals on... I'm drawing a blank on the name of that one. Battlefield of Eternity. Whenever, if you win the objective and now your big angel or demon are pushing down the lane, you slap this across, that fort or that keep in the towers, and it just completely shuts them off for 20 seconds, letting you guys just get free damage on the structures. It's just incredible. And even if you just use it in a team fight, doing that damage and then slowing them by 60% for 40 seconds, that's over half, just makes it to where your team can just collapse on them and just take them out. Level 13, it's I almost always go Biting Cold. It increases the damage of your aura effect. A bunch of people swear by Shattering Armor. Makes it to where whenever you root someone with that Howling Blast, it reduces their armor by 15 for 4 seconds. Makes it to where any damage is 15, is increased by 15%. I think that's really good when you're, on comms, communicating with your team, and they know it's going to be there. I really like Biting Cold, though, because it gives him more wave clear, and it allows him to murk just by himself later in the game. So that's usually what I go for. 16, I like Remorseless Winter. Makes it to where if anybody hangs out in your aura for more than 3 seconds, they get rooted, which then you can follow up with your W root, and again, just keep them there for a really long time. And then level 20, a lot of times I go Anti-Magic Shell. So the one weakness that Arthas does have is spell damage. And Anti-Magic Shell, you activate it, makes Arthas immune to spell damage for 3 seconds, and heals Arthas for 20% of the damage prevented. It's just incredible. I remember one game I had this. I was playing against the Stitches. We were just... we had them pushed into their base, but the Stitches gorged me, took me into their base, and there was like a Chromie and a Li Ming, and I knew once I was going to pop out of that Stitches, I was going to get just totally nuked by their team. So I popped this and then just got healed all the way back up to full. It's just incredible. It makes it to where, this is one of the best anti-spell spells in the game. not only are you immune, but you heal back up for it. And it's just, since that is his one weakness, it's just the perfect talent, if you ask me. It makes it at level 20 where you don't have to worry about spells anymore. One thing I will talk about, take a second right now, if you're watching this, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. One thing I also want to talk about is my little catchphrase at the end of my videos, stay positive and don't die. In Heroes of the Storm, I've been a part of so many comebacks. And I think toxicity and negativity is like one way to assure that your team's going to lose. Anyway, so just stay positive, and then just don't focus on not dying. If you're new, one of the best things you can do is just focus on not dying. Dying gives up XP, and you know, losing a person is losing a resource. So that's what that means. On our team, we have an Arthas, Gazlo, Murky, Nova, and Sylvanas. On the enemy team, Arthas, Nova, Chen, Nazeebo, and Butcher. So right off the bat, Chen. I'm worried about Chen. Chen recently got a buff in a patch, and he requires stuns, which we don't have a ton of. Gazlo has a stun, but it's a delayed stun. It's timed, and Murky can have Octo Grab. But we'll see how it goes. We are playing on Hanamura. I don't think I've done Hanamura yet.
Litch King.
Hanamura, if you don't know, this is the newest map in the Nexus. What it is, it's based off the Overwatch map, but it is a payload map. So, at certain points in the game, payloads will spawn one for each team, and you have to push it. If you push it to its destination, you get one shot on the enemy core.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight.
Also, so you push payload, you get a shot on the enemy core. If you get
Rise in service of the Litch King.
if you're able to get a fort or keep down, that adds one more damage to your next shot. So as you can see, Chen, if you've never played against him, that's him drinking. It's the way he doesn't have mana. He has brew, as it is called.
Another champion for Scourge.
Charge.
All shall suffer.
Chin's very hard to kill. Whenever he drinks his brew, he gets a
killing spree.
So he can literally just sit there chugging his brew and not die. As you can see with Arthas, with that level 1 quest, I'm throwing out a lot of those brews, not necessarily even wanting to follow up on it. I'm just wanting to get that stack up. So I've already got the cooldown reduction.
Payload deployment beginning from left.
Already got the cooldown reduction. Have the range here soon.
Your efforts are
Payloads deployed. Escort your payload to its destination.
double kill. Torment awaits.
We're doing good. We're doing good. So as you can see, my trait is flashing there. That means my next basic attack is going to be that Frostborn Hungers, which gives me mana back. One thing I really do like about Arthas is he's got his passive trait that doesn't cost him mana and gives him mana. And then he also, on his Q, has a self-heal. So kind of left to his own devices, he can pretty quickly get back to where he wants to be.
These attacks are certainly
Double kill. I choose a talent. So be it.
We should take
Payload
this
deployment beginning for both teams. Payload firing upon enemy core. Payloads deployed. Escort your payload to its destination. Enemy payload fired.
You gave them what they deserved.
There we go. As you can see, I'm just following up, hitting that group, getting right up on it, using my aura. Nice. Letting that aura just take over, and it's one of those things where all I have to do is just stay close and
Demolish. Choose a talent.
capable of doing anything.
Hungers. All shall suffer.
And as you can see, I haven't welled in a while. You know, I've just been able to stay on top of my health pool and my mana using that trait and using that self-heal. So again, I'm low on mana,
Your rage.
come up, whack that guy, and then just let the cooldown fill.
You shall.
Anyone up for destroying this fort?
Another champion for the scourge.
Enemy payload firing.
Double kill. Indeed.
Kill confirmed.
Feed me your
Payload firing upon enemy core.
fort destroyed.
They flee before us.
Feed me your rage. This choke.
Your payload will be redeployed shortly.
We're gonna go with that
Suitable.
increased damage.
Terminate this hero.
Death comes for you.
Your payload has been redeployed. The enemy's payload will be redeployed shortly.
So this map is interesting. The main thing on it is you want to stay ahead on XP, which means soaking and not just giving
The
away
enemy's
kills.
payload has been redeployed.
And you want to be ahead on buildings, right? Forts and towers. As you can see by these little indicators down at the bottom, we have 2 shots on our next one. They only have 1.
Never stop fighting. Never.
Shall suffer.
There's a boss in the middle. So there's 3 types of camps and 1 boss.
Payload firing
There's
upon
this
enemy
fortification
core.
camp that lets you have a turret. He's going to pick it up right there.
Your efforts are futile.
There are recon camps where there's 3 little guys and they spawn this dragon token. But you have this dragon token that will reveal 3 enemies.
Destroyed.
They flee before us.
That's what that turret looks like.
The enemy's payload will be redeployed shortly. Enemy payload firing.
Slain.
Your payload will be redeployed shortly.
And then the support camps that drop these little health packs that give you a bunch of health and mana back over time. It's like a souped
The
up
enemy's
region.
payload has been redeployed.
And then the boss in the middle, which allows you, which gives you 1 shot on the enemy.
Your
But it
payload
does.
has been redeployed.
So we're going to fix this.
They flee before us.
No servant of the Lich King truly dies. Enemy slain.
Kill confirmed.
Like an arrow up. You got on this. Also, it's important to know one of the worst things you can do on a death stagger.
Double kill. Triple kill.
And that's where, like, if that
Your
Sylvanas
payload will be redeployed shortly.
kept running in,
This will end.
if that Sylvanas had kept
Payload
trying to
firing
fight there
on
and it
enemy
died,
Your payload has been
The
redeployed.
Sylvanas kept fighting there and died. When we had gotten back up, we would have been down a teammate. And so that staggering of death can just throw the whole game for you. So that's why I was so emphatic on, hey,
MVP.
don't die, wait for us, we can push this 5. That was a pretty easy game, I'm not gonna lie. I was really worried about it. They had an interesting team, but I think that Sylvanas really helped. I think you saw most aspects of my build. You know, when people are running, having that aura just constantly slowing them makes it to where they can't get away. Hitting those roots from far distance lets you catch up to them, lets you get that slow started on them. His trait and his Q, letting you just stay out on the field for as long as you want. And then Syndragosa at the end. I used it in a team fight, right, so that we could just collapse on their team, totally take them down. But then also to turn off those towers as well. We had Sylvanas who can do it as well, but I love having that Syndragosa to allow you to push down that tower to get, in this case, another shot on their core, but in most cases, either more pressure on the map or more experience in your pocket for your team. Oh, completely forgot to go through my build. My build there, I'll go through it one more time. Frost Presence at level 1. Again, the quest talents on that W makes it to where you can get a longer range and root all the people in the everyone in what am I trying to say here? Everyone in the path when trying to catch someone in that route. Level 4, the Frozen Wastes. Makes it to where that slow lingers, where if they're able to get out, you can catch back up to them and get them slowed again with that aura. Level 7, Icebound Fortitude. You saw me use that a number of times whenever I knew I was about to go in and take damage or get a lot of CC. Helps reduce some of that. Summon Syndragosa, level 10. You saw me use that plenty. 13, the Biting Cold just increases the damage of that aura. Level 16, the Remorseless Winter. You saw it once on that Arthas, I know for sure, on the enemy Arthas. He hung out my aura too long, rooted him on the ground, and I was able to follow up with that Howling, Howling Blast route. And then level 20, which we didn't get to, I would have gone Anti-Magic Shell. I also like Absolute Zero. It increases the range, how far they fly, how far Cindy flies, and then also increases the enemy route and slow, and also increases the disable duration of it. Anyways, Anti-Magic Shell is my main one. Let me know if you guys liked the video. Please, again, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and follow me on Twitter. That's another big one. I'd love to hear from you guys at DeadCenterTweet on Twitter. Hit me up there. Let me know in the comments below who you'd like for me to do next. I'd love to get your feedback. I've been messing around with my audio. I know I've kind of been peaking out a little bit. I'm working on my gain. I've got my gain turned all the way down on my microphone, and I'm just kind of a loud person. But I'm seeing what I can do. I'm definitely wanting to make the quality of this channel better and better every time. So once again, you guys, thanks for stopping by, and as always, stay positive and don't die.